Chapter 12, The Setup. I arrived at Pleasant Valley State Prison welcomed by Chief Deputy Warden Paul Ward, a short, gray-haired man with a smile from ear to ear. He acknowledged my years of experience in the Department of Corrections and even went so far as to say that it was a privilege to have me working at his prison. He asked if I wanted to return back to the ISU. I appreciatively declined his offer. I was placed on Facility D Yard, which he indicated was the most violent yard housing all the Northern Structure Hispanic inmates in the prison. My days at the new prison started off quite sour. While in the watch office, Custody Captain Ryan Williams approached me and introduced himself. He then, in front of other staff, stated that I was the one on the victim witness program they sent here from another prison. I was offended and quickly stood up to let him have it and defend myself, but realized it wasn't worth it. Not only did the staff at Pleasant Valley know about my situation, but at that moment, I knew I was going to have problems here as well. Later, I found out this same captain would be the captain of my yard, Facility D. In another occasion, I was approached by Lieutenant Jeffrey Brown and Captain Williams in the program office, at which time Lieutenant Brown jokingly yelled out to me that he had the FBI on the phone and asked who I had told on now. I expected Captain Williams to reprimand him. His remark was highly unprofessional, not to mention the sensitivity and seriousness of the issue. The captain did nothing. In yet another incident, I was on the yard passing by Williams and Brown when Lieutenant Brown yelled out that I was a rat and asked what authorities I was going to call next. Later that same day on the yard, with the yard sergeant and other officers, I heard the alarm start to yelp from housing Unit 3. The other officers and I ran across the yard to answer the call. As I approached, the outside door to the unit was wide open. I didn't hesitate to run right in. More than a dozen inmates were engaged in an all-out brawl. They were swinging broomsticks, mop handles, and anything else they could get their hands on. I turned around, expecting to see the backup I had arrived with. No one, not a single officer, had entered the unit with me. A part of me wanted to panic. Was I being set up for a hit, left to be attacked by a gang of heated inmates? As the only officer in there, I was an easy target. Luckily, using my pepper spray and handcuffs, I was able to get the situation under control. When my backup finally entered, they said they had all stopped at the front door with the pathetic excuse that they were waiting for the yard sergeant to respond. I called bullshit. That was not CDC policy and they knew it. I was floored. There was no way I was going to stand for that deliberate betrayal. I told the sergeant he could take my job and shove it up his ass. That was my last day at Pleasant Valley State Prison.